welcome to All Aboard, a channel dedicated to boards of all kinds. So I got this Surfskate hoping to improve my surfing even when there are no waves. And let's admit, unless you live relatively close to a nice beach and have lots of free time to go surf, you probably feel like you're not in the water as often as you may want to. Now I got the Swelltech here, but obviously you can use any surf skate you have, whether it's Cover or any of the other brands, even a regular skateboard if you really loosen the trucks. And let me tell you, so far this thing is awesome. First, a good 45 minutes on this thing is a great workout and will strengthen your legs and your core. But perhaps more importantly, it's an amazing way to practice all your surf movements, like speed generation, bottom and top turns, and even more advanced moves like cutbacks, carves, and snaps. Now here's why this thing is so great. In every sports activity, you have the element of learning the technique and improving the quality of the movement. In some sports, it's very repetitive and can be fairly simple, but in surfing, it's a completely different story. Here you have a variety of movements and the constant adjustment for the wave variances such as the shape, the size, the speed, and the wind. So it can be pretty hard to develop muscle memory, which is the key to good technique. Which brings me to our second problem. Now, I've done a lot of sports in my life, but I can't think of one that is as hard to practice and predict, such as surfing. Whether your session lasts an hour and a half or 3 hours, your actual practice time is incredibly short. So if you're a beginner or an intermediate, and let's say you caught 20 or 30 waves, which let's admit is an amazing day, and you spend about 4 to 6 seconds on a wave, your actual practice time is still very short. Let's say a minute and a half, 2 or 3 minutes. So even if I got the numbers a bit wrong, it's still gonna be very short overall. On the Surfskate, you can analyze your movements, try it slow a few times, which is kind of impossible on the surfboard, and gradually increase the speed and difficulty. You can just repeat the correct movement without the pressure of catching the wave, staying on the board without falling, and not to mention the crowd around you. Of course, here you're on a stable ground on a board with wheels, so it's not exactly like surfing. But it's close enough and allows you to arrive to the water more prepared and successfully perform the movements more quickly. Now, I'm definitely not a pro or an advanced surfer, more like an intermediate that is very invested in the sport. So for someone like me, it's crucial to be able to practice movements that I have never tried before. When I started practicing the Surfskate, I found a lot of good tips online and from my more experienced surfer friends. But personally, I would have loved to see how someone who is not an advanced surfer uses this tool. So as I practiced, I filmed and corrected myself again and again. So here's my take on it and my process. These are the things I found important to think about and to practice, and the drills that I've been doing. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, the Pastimes App, the best way for you to do what you love and make new friends. What's great about Pastimes is that you can easily download and set up your profile indicating your favorite activities like surfing, cycling, hiking, etc. You can invite people to join you in the morning of surfing, and others can tag you for a meetup. Just post a message on the app. Calling all surfers in New York. I'm heading to the Rockaways for a 6 a.m. surf tomorrow. Who's in? Others can see the message and join the meetup. If you're visiting a new place, you can look up who's free in that area and make plans together. The locals will always know the best spots to catch a wave. Oh, and there's a new gear section where you can buy and sell any new or used gear you want. I highly recommend Pastimes, and I hope to see you there soon. Just download the app from the link below and hit me up whenever you're in New York for some surfing, snowboarding, or skating. Okay, enough with the talking. Let's get to work. First, just get on the board and start moving until you feel super comfortable just moving forward. Try to build patterns of habit and find the body position that feels best on the board. Think about the movement first. Establish correct movement before speeding up. Whatever you do, make sure you avoid the poo stance at all costs. So don't keep your knees constantly bent and wiggling your arms. Instead, you want to focus on what is probably the start of every movement in surfing, which is compression and extension. If you're just getting started, pay attention. We have two sides. Front side when we face the wave, and back side when our back is to the wave. So we will always compress at the bottom of the wave and extend at the top. Okay, let's practice generating speed. Place cones maybe 4 or 5 feet apart and adjust it according to your abilities. When you get the hang of it, you'll want to start creating flow in your movement, basically taking a bunch of consecutive small radius turns. Always think about the movement of heel to toe alongside the compression and extension. Start slow and gradually increase your compression, which will in turn increase your speed. Start finding those little things that will help you improve the technique, maximize your energy, and find your own style. Keep your arms loose and a bit forward, and let your legs do most of the work. Try not to under or over rotate your body. It won't only throw off your movement, but will be a waste of energy. For the bottom turns, we're going to place 3 cones like a triangle about 6 feet apart. Go over the first cone, come down and bottom turn around the middle cone, and your goal is to turn high enough over that third cone. In general, when we enter a turn, we compress, and when we exit, we'll extend, and at the end, compress again. So we will compress at the bottom turn, then push to create the movement up to the top of the wave, where we will extend and compress again. Alongside the compression and extension, feel the movement of the heel to toe, which will initiate the rail engagement. For front side, the arms should be moving in a forward momentum. The leading hand should point generally in the direction of the movement. Your head should look where you go. The shoulders and the hips should follow the movement and not counter it. This is key as it will help you initiate the movement in the water. Here's what's important in backside turns. In backside bottom turn, you'll basically have a reversed body position with the heel side engaged at the bottom of the movement and the toe at the top. But now you'll have more twist in the upper body because your back is to the wave and you need to turn to it. This twist will allow for a faster movement up the wave, and the twist back will hopefully create this awesome spray at the top of the wave. Remember, the eyes look over the shoulder to the section that you want to hit. So the eyes and the shoulders still lead the movement, and with the leading hand pointing the way. As you get better, try some more extreme turns and mostly think about coming off center. This will later help you create more momentum in your turns, as well as taking sharper turns. Another way to practice more extreme turns is to create figure eights with short pumping in between. Make sure you keep the speed going. This is pretty intense as it requires constant compression and extension movement. So an awesome workout for your legs. Next, we're going to combine the first and the second routine, speed generation and bottom to top turns. Keep the cones in regular intervals, about 4 to 5 feet apart, and maybe double it for the turns in the last section. Pump to generate speed, and with the big bottom turn, compress in the bottom and extend to the top. Remember that your goal is to generate enough speed to complete the bottom turn and the top maneuver. Few tips for the front side. As you compress to perform the bottom turn, keep that back arm close to the ground. Make sure you look where you go, and as you extend to perform the top turn, that front arm will lead the movement. Here's a tip for the backside. Compress low and lean to the wave. The leading hand pulls the twist back with the shoulders and the hips. The front arm then moves up and forward, leading our movement with the rotation of the body. With that rotation back, we extend at the top. As you start completing these maneuvers with faster and more sharp turns, you can start learning a few more advanced movements. I will do another video that's a bit more detailed, but for now, just a few tips. In order to learn snaps, we can run some power slides so we can practice the feeling of moving our weight forward on our front foot and release the back so the wheels will slide. From the top turn, the board goes all the way back and points to the foam. The snap can happen in various degrees and will determine how far back you will turn with your board. Okay everyone, this is it for our Surfskate training. I hope this was helpful and let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. See ya!